Hi everybody, I'm back again for another message to the church. So today, I wasn't exactly too clear on what the Lord wanted me to talk about, but I was downstairs watching something on this morning. Very early this morning, I was watching T.D.Jakes. And he was talking about something that I had gone through not too long ago. Maybe about a year ago. Was it about a year ago? What month are we in? No, it was a few months before 2015 ended, and then it happened. Then I went through it again at the beginning of this year, and he was talking about like getting rid of people in your life that don't do anything but drain you. You know, you do so much to help them, and they expect you to carry them through whatever problems they're going through. Sorry guys, I don't know, I'm just laughing. But like they expect you to carry them through whatever problems they're going through, and you're always there, and they just take so much and so much, you know what I mean? So that's the message that he was talking about. And then, you know, after he finished talking, I said, you know what, I think that's maybe a really good topic to make this my message for today. Oh, by the way, I'm very sorry guys that I didn't come on yesterday. I was a little bit, I was really overwhelmed and drained over some matters I can't get into, but yeah, I couldn't do it yesterday guys. I was just too overwhelmed, too drained. So the Lord gave me some strength today, and he said, okay, just do it today. Anyway, so yeah, so anyway, I met a friend. Okay, I met a friend. This was on Facebook. It's going to be about 2.5 years, right? About 2.5 years. And this friend, like, you know, everybody goes through problems, right? Everybody goes through problems. But this, you know, this one friend that I met expected me to be there, like 24 hours a day. And I was drained. Like, I was there for that person. Every single day I was there for that person, you know, and I got to see, like, you know, I of course I didn't mind, because, you know, you love your friends and you want to be there for them and you're concerned for them. But when it gets to the point where they expect you to carry them, you know, they expect you to carry their whole load of problems and everything that they're going through, they expect you to carry it on your back, including whatever you're going through in your life. And that's not right. That's very self-centered, okay, completely selfish. They do not care about what you're going through in your life, right? I mean, you tell them, you know, this is what I'm going through, and, you know, pray for me. That's, you know, you ask them to pray for you, which is good. But, and then, you know, you move on, and you're also praying for them, but you're not going to overload them with your problems, because that's not right. But, you know, but what was going on with my friend, you know, they were just expecting me to continue to carry them, and I became so overwhelmed, very drained. And it's just the load that, I mean, carrying somebody else's problems, it's not healthy, and it's very unfair. So that's my message for today, guys. It's just not good. Like, if you guys have even family, friends, families, relatives in your lives that expect you to be there for them on a 24-hour basis, and they're just telling you stuff, and they tell you the same stuff every single day, all the time, or whenever you see them, it's the same stuff, and you keep getting drained. But I call them leeches, okay? Those are leeches, because leeches, you know what a leech is, right? It attaches to your skin, to your body, and it just sucks out all your blood, and it takes out all your nutrients, and if you leave it there, you will become anemic and you'll die, right? So that's what a leech is. Like, when a person who does that, that's a leech. They take everything from you and they don't give anything back. Okay, and it got to the point where, you know, I told this person twice. The first time I told this person, you know, this is the situation. I don't mind, you know, being there for you and praying for you and giving you counsel, okay? But you can't expect me to carry you, because it's too much on me, and it's not my responsibility to carry you, right? I can give you counsel, and I can also help you as to what to do, because sometimes, you know, the person that you're counseling will go through the same thing that you have gone through in like a long time ago, or something that you're going through at that moment, and you're giving them counsel as to how to deal with it, right? So that person, you'll give them that advice, and they won't take it, but they keep coming back expecting you to carry them, and like asking you, oh, please pray for me, pray for me, pray for me, you know, and you're praying for them every day, you know, how do I handle this, right? And you tell them like how to handle it, like with those situations, like with with my friend, like they weren't asking me all the time how do I handle it, but they were just asking me for, like, they were just being overbearing, right? Like, pray for me every single day for the same thing. And I kept telling them, I'm praying for you every day, right? I'm praying for you every day. But when I also give them counsel as to how to take care of it, how to handle it, because of something that I went through, and I was able to figure out the problem through whatever solution I'm trying to give them, and they don't take it, and they keep coming back to you with the same thing, you know, it's like it's a circus. It becomes a circus, and they don't it's like they don't respect you, because you're giving them all of this like, you're giving them all yourself, right? All your counsel, your advice, your suggestions, and they don't take it, but they keep coming back asking you, you know, please pray for me because I don't know what to do, and you're telling them what to do, but they're not taking your counsel. So that's another form of abuse, right? Excuse me, guys, it's hot in here. So yeah, it's very frustrating, right? It's frustrating when you're trying to help somebody and they know that you're there for them all the time, but they will not take your counsel because they feel good when you talk to them, right? It's like it's natural for a person to feel very comforted, very lifted, very like, oh, you know, this person really cares about me, you know, and you know, they're carrying me right now, and you know, that's fine. But to expect that on a 24-hour basis, no. You know, that's pure selfishness. And I had to cut that friend out of my life, right? And they even got mad at me, right? They got mad at me because they thought, they became appalled because I told them, and I explained everything to them. I said, you know what? I like helping you. I love helping you. You're my friend. But you cannot abuse our friendship like that, because, you know, you're overwhelming with your problems, and I keep telling you, you know, how you can help yourself, but you refuse to take it. What you want is for me to carry you throughout your whole problems, and that can't be. It's not right. We're all responsible to carry our own problems. It's okay. Like the Lord in the Bible says, pray for each other, carry each other's burdens, but He doesn't say to overwhelm ourselves with each other's burdens, right? So carry each other's burdens means, okay, I understand what you're going through. I understand what you're going through, and I'm going to help you, right? But then there's a limit, there's a boundary. There is a boundary, right, that you have to set for yourself to keep that friend from overwhelming you with their problems, because it's not right for me to do that to them. It's not right for me to do that to you. It's not right for me to do that to anybody, right? So we all have responsibilities, right? When somebody's there for us, that's good. We can ask them to pray for us, because prayers do work. And just because, I mean, I can talk to you every day, and just because you don't hear me say, you know, by the way, I'm praying for you today, and the next day, and the next day, it doesn't mean that I'm not praying for you for that day, and the next day, and the next day, right? I mean, like this friend of mine, you know, like they expected me to reassure that I was praying for them every single day, and that was just, I was completely drained, you know? I had nothing left, and that's not right. And I had dealt with people like that before this person, and I had cut those people out of my life also, right? And then, you know, then I met this new person, and I said, okay, let me give them a chance. But then, you know, I told them or whatever, and they didn't listen. So then, I told them one time, and it appears like they listened, but they didn't, because they stopped for about 4 months, and then they started up again. And then when I told them the second time, then they got really upset, and then I said, you know what? You know, I don't need this, so goodbye. So I had to cut that person out of my life, and they were really upset. But the thing is, it's too bad, because this was a very, very nice person, right? They were nice from A to Z. They were really, really nice, very compassionate, very loving, very, very, very caring person. But it's just, you know, sometimes people expect, they have, you know, we all have our things, our glitches, right? But this person had this one thing about them that, you know, I couldn't put up with it anymore, you know. So yeah, there comes a time when you have to put your foot down. And when you have family members like this, it's the same thing, guys. If you have family, whether they are in your immediate family or, you know, relatives, you've got to put your foot down, because family doesn't mean putting up with those kinds of abuses, because that's abuse. That's spiritual abuse. It's emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and it becomes physical because you get drained and you're like, you're worried about this person all the time, always concerned about, you know, what their condition might be. And that's not right, because it's not your job to worry about them like that, right? Thank God they're in their right mind, right? If they're in the right mind, then it's not your job to worry about them like that. It's our job to pray for them. It's our job to, if we know what to do, give them counsel and say, okay, now what are you going to do with it, right? I learned that from this, oh, what was her name? Lisa Bevere. I saw her one time being interviewed. I think she was, I forget which show she was on. Maybe one of the Daystar shows, or some show here in Toronto, or outside of Toronto. She was just talking about an experience she had, I think, with her father, who was kind of mean, right? And she was always kind of complaining. Like, we complain a lot. Some of us complain a lot. I complain a lot sometimes too. In another video I said I don't complain, but sometimes I do. But anyway, so long story short, the Lord, she went to the Lord, she went to God about it, and then God showed her the solution, and he showed her, like, in a visual. He said, here's the solution, now what are you going to do with it, right? So, like, we have this, a lot of us have this thing where we'll go to people or we'll go to God and we'll ask him, Father or friend, you know, what can I do about this problem? And then that person or God will give us the solution, but it's still not good enough. Right? So then we continue, you know, going to them and asking them, and that drains them. Right? So that's why when you know, we are, like, it's our obligation to help, right? But then when we give that person the solution, okay, and then it stops right there. It stops right there. We don't have any more obligation to that person. And it doesn't matter who it is. Okay? It doesn't matter who it is. It could be somebody, like I said, in your immediate family. It's not right. Okay? It's not right for us to continue to hassle somebody about something that we've already gone to them for, and they've already given us the answer, and, like, you know, it's not right. It's abusive, guys. So anyway, so that was, that's what that's what I felt the Lord planted in my heart today to talk about. And so, yeah, and also, you know, it might be even hard to deal with that kind of a situation when it comes to, like, a best friend, right? Because a lot of us that have best friends, we feel like we are obligated to them in that way, when we're not. And we really have to, like, look outside. Like, what is it doing to us mentally, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally? What's it doing? If it's causing us to be anxious and nervous and always worried about them, no, we have to like look outside of that and say, okay, if this is the result, then it can't be good for me. Just because they're my best friend doesn't mean that, you know, I have to put myself out like that. It's not right, right? So, like, and also, like I just said, even if it's somebody in your immediate family, brother, sister, even your parents, guys, we have to respect our parents. But if our parents are overwhelming us with things that they have the answers for, like somebody or us have already given them a solution or some kind of a suggestion, and they're not taking it, and they continue coming, no, that's not right. It's not right. You know, we love our parents, and just like God says, we love your parents, respect them, honor them. Of course, we do that. But, okay, at the same time, sometimes they're also wrong. Okay, so if they're going to be overwhelming us with stuff, when we've already given them something, a suggestion, and they won't take it, then we have to say, you know, Father, you know, Mom, Dad, please understand the position you're putting me in. You know, you're draining me, you're overwhelming me. I love you, but, you know, I can't do any more for you. You have now the ball is in your court. What are you going to do? Right? So that goes for everybody, whether it's family or relatives or friends. Okay, so yeah, I think that's my message. I think I'm finished. But anyway, so I'm going to continue applying that principle to myself also this year. right? Because I had no idea that I was going to continue on, you know, meeting this a new friend, and then having this friend, like me allowing that person to get me to a place where I was before, when I had those other friends that I had to cut out of my life. But you know, anyway, so I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm gonna make sure, like this year, like continuing on from this year, if I meet more people like that, and if I find out that they're very clingy and they expect me to solve their problems, oh no, no, I will be upfront with them, just like I was upfront with this other person, and I'm gonna say, this is the situation, you know. You know, if you can't handle it, then you must move on to somebody else, right? Because I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I'm on my way to getting better. I don't want to go, you know, backwards, right? Leave leeches outside of your life. Because I know that's a harsh word. It's a harsh word, okay? But that's the reality. When people take and take and take, and they expect to have more from you, and they don't even have any consideration for how they make you feel, that's a leech. That's a leech, and it's very, what's that word, guys? Inconsiderate. Now, when it comes to our parents, no, I'm not calling our parents leeches, but they're draining us. Okay, they're really draining us. So they're being drainers, not leeches. They're being drainers, because that's not a word for our parents. Okay, that's a word for a sibling or a cousin or a friend. Okay, but not for like parents or a respected uncle or aunt or anything like that, guys. But yeah, anyway, you guys know what I mean. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm not gonna let somebody do that to me again, because it's too much, and you know, we are too worth it. Like, we're way too worth, like, a lot more than allowing people to come into our lives and do that to us, you know. So even for you parents, right? For you parents who have kids who come to you about things, and you keep giving them the same advice, and they're draining you, and you can't help yourself because you're their parent, right? And you will die for them. But put your foot down and say, look, this is. Okay, I'm just sorry, guys. I got distracted because there's a cord down here, like a cord from a lamp, and I was stepping on it. Anyway, so you tell your child, however many you have, or even if you just have one, this is my solution. You take it. Now, you see what you're going to do with it, right? You make a decision. Don't come back to me. Don't come back to me. This is the solution. Do not come back to me, because it's not right for us to drain our parents like that. It's very unfair. They put up with a lot. So it's very unfair for us to do that to our parents, just because they're our parents, and they put up with a lot, and that's unfair to them. So that's my message also to all of us, you know, with parents. We can't keep going to them, asking them for advice on something they've already counseled us for, just because, oh, you know, it feels so good when our parents counsel us and talk to us. It's comforting. But it's very unfair. It's grossly unfair. So we have to put a stop to that. All right. So I'm finished now, and I want to show you guys something. You see the hat? The hat that, okay, this is the hat. No, not this. This is not the hat. This is the yarn. This is the hat that I'm making Jimmy. Like, look at how big this thing is. And I showed my mother, and she was kind of giggling, because it's so huge. And you can tell I put my hair in braids because I'm just getting it ready, because I'm going out in a few days. So I'm gonna, Jim's supposed to be by today. I'm gonna put it on. I'm not very happy because of the way it turned out. You see, so I'm still working on it, right? So I learned how to tighten it. So it's getting a little bit tight. You can see a little bit, right? It's getting a little bit tight, right? A little bit. And it's so huge. But if my hair was all undone, then it would fit better. But like, I'd be walking around like, you know, holding it really still, right? So that it won't so that it won't fly off. Anyway, it's got some good weight to it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, anyway, what I'm going to continue doing is, oh, what was that? Well, a piece of lint. Okay, so like, where did I, somewhere around here I started 2 days ago, yeah. 2 days ago, I started to tighten it because I learned on a YouTube video how to tighten a crochet hat. But I'm kind of afraid that it'll sort of not turn out the way I'd like, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just following the instructions to see if I can get like something like that. I don't know. I don't know, guys. So there's the hat, guys. I don't know if Jim's gonna like it. I think he might say, hey, that's cool, because Jim's really, like, he's really into, like, kind of weird stuff, right? Like, really neat stuff. And he might not be too upset, or, not upset, but, you know, like, he might not say, oh, you know, oops. Sorry, guys, the yarn fell, and I'm getting all tangled up everywhere. The yarn fell. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be too, like, the word upset, that's not the word. He's not going to be too bothered by it. So, anyway. Yeah, I'll show you guys, I'll continue showing you guys what the hat looks like as I, you know, continue on with making it better or whatever I'm trying to say. And yeah, it's a good sun ray deflector. And you know what? It's got like a really good weight to it, right? It's got a good weight to it. I can feel it. So, but like if you're in a really strong wind, you got to hold on to it. So maybe I'm thinking about putting like an attachment or something, like an attachment. But I don't know how Jim's going to feel about that. So if he comes today, I'll show it to him, and he might put it on, and then I'll ask him what does he think, and get some suggestions or something. So yeah. Okay. So this is my project, and you know, it looks like it's turning out. It could turn out, if I make it any larger, it could turn it into I can turn it into a hat, not a hat, a purse, you know, like a bag. But then I'd have to seal the bottom because, can you guys see? Got a little hole. See? There's my finger. So yeah, I like the way it's turning out because it's a good sun, it's a good sun hat, but it's just a matter of making it tight. Like, I don't want to make the hat tight so that it, like, for example, I don't want to make the hat tight so that it's like tight like all the way around here, you know, all the way around like that, and then you get this big huge, you know, to stuff all your hair in here. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what Jim was looking for. He was looking for a regular hat, like I showed you guys yesterday in the pictures. A regular hat, a regular winter hat that just goes down like this and just hugs the crown and the head. But since this hat I think might be a little bit too long for that, I'm just going to have to keep working on it until, I don't know, through a miracle of the Lord, it turns into something that is wearable. Okay, girls and boys, I am done. I hear a motorcycle. This reminds me of a watermelon. Yeah. And you know what, guys? Every time I make a mistake, I discover something new. Like, I can make something out of it. But then, if I want to recreate what I've just learned through my mistake, I'm going to have to recreate the mistake. And I've made so many mistakes, I don't know how to recreate that mistake. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard. So that's why I have to really know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm finished now. I hope you guys enjoyed the message. And, yeah, so just remember what I said about people and draining you and leeches and stuff like that. Except for your parents. They're not leeches. Okay? So, yeah. And respected uncles and aunts. And grandmothers and grandfathers. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to go now and I'm going to go post this. Right? Bye.